Hello, Mr. Randy Duck, and welcome back for another video. And today I've got 3 replays to show you in the Tier 7 German premium tank destroyer, the Javelin. Now this tank is available in the upcoming Season Pass Frostbite as the level 75 reward tank. Now the season comes out next Tuesday, and I've got this video here for you early just so you can see what you can potentially earn in that season. I will do a replay in all the season tanks, of course, but yeah, I've got one today for you in the Javelin. Now this is actually a very good tank destroyer. I really enjoy playing it. Essentially, you know, the key elements of the tank is firstly its concealment. It has fantastic steel concealment, and you will see I've got my steel concealment down to 194 with the crew setup I'm running, and you will see that at the bottom of the screen as I speak. The next key feature about this tank is its gun. It's got a fantastic gun with 280 alpha, 203 penetration on your standard AP rounds, 237 on your premium APCR, 1000 shell velocity in your standard AP rounds, and 1250 shell velocity in the premium APCR rounds. You have a DPM of 3290, and you can really rack up a lot of damage with that combination of fantastic concealment, being very, very stealthy, and that, you know, just fantastic DPM. You can pick up damage on the right situations pretty quickly. The only negative for me on this tank, the only real drawback, is that the top speed, it only has a top speed of 35 kilometers an hour, and although you get there relatively quickly and often, that really limits the tank, and that's a thing that can be a little bit frustrating when you play this tank. If I'm honest, is the top speed. Feels like it could be a little bit quicker, and that's the only thing which I would say turns this tank from being a good tank, which it is, to a very strong tank, is its mobility, which sort of holds you back somewhat. And it can be, it's not like completely frustrating like an E3 or something like that, but it is frustrating. It could do with being a little bit quicker. And then it will, you know, really enjoy this tank. However, I've got 3 good replays to show you in the tank. The first of which is starting now. We'll get on with that replay, and I do end with a very, very strong replay in this tank, and I have a very high damage output in the last replay, which really shows you what this tank is capable of. So anyway, on for the first replay here. I can see I'm not really getting much from that location, and I was concerned. I didn't push initially to sort of the K sort of 8 location, which I normally go to at the start, just in case the enemy light tank was going to contest that, and I didn't want to risk getting sort of spotted getting across. You do only have 800 hit points in this tank with 0 armour, so that's another thing. You're not really going to bounce a lot of shots, and if you do get caught out, you can die pretty quickly because the hit point pool is very low. But as it turns out, no one's really sort of, you know, contested it, and I've decided that I'm going to push up now and see if we can get in the battle and try and shoot some of the heavy tanks maybe at H5. You see I'm crossing here and these tanks aren't spotting me. You know, this concealment value is very, very strong on this tank, and it is one of its key elements. If you like playing those stealthy tank destroyers, this has certainly got that in abundance. So at the moment it's a fairly close game, 11 versus 12. It is I think this is tier 8 matchmaking on this one, so we are sort of mid-tier, and I've decided that I'm going to go and try and kill this tank destroyer because it's going to keep me proxy spotted. This is a little bit risky, and I do unfortunately eat the, you know, I eat pretty much all my hit points in one shot there, which, to be fair, I probably didn't necessarily need to take that gamble. I just kind of felt like I wanted to kill that tank quickly so I could sit here and essentially farm this heavy tank. But yeah, I guess that could be a little bit costly. Looking to try and get some shots to the cupola of this tank. Unfortunately, wasn't quite able to get that one in. You know, the accuracy is fairly good. I think I got it down to 0.27, which is not bad. And you can see the DPM is pretty good. Unfortunately, we're struggling to pen this tank here. But we should be able to pen this cupola, or if he just backs up a little bit more, or actually present the shot into the lower plate. But you can see we do pen the cupola there, and we put him at least down to a 1-shot now, and we're trying to just finish him off, because unfortunately we are losing this game. As you can see, it's in the 8 versus 11 at the moment, and yeah, it's not looking too bright for us, but it's definitely not, it's definitely not lost at this stage. I'm now just going to try and see him push forward, because I like tanks. It looks like he's going to go and cross the spot the base of the enemy sort of camping ridge, and I'm going to try and get some damage there. You see, he does spot an enemy equaliser, enemy artillery, and we should be able to get the finish here. We do put him onto a one-shot. Hopefully we've got enough reload to kill him before he gets into cover, and that's exactly what happens, picking up our second kill of the game. Bringing this to a 7 versus 9, and the enemy team do have tanks in the middle now, which I could potentially get shots at, or if the enemy stuff at the base pushes forwards, we might also get some shots in this game. So I guess so far this game's not going amazingly for me, but it's starting to pick up. I have lost those hit points, which again is not ideal, because I didn't have a lot of hit points to lose. You only start off with those 800, but we're still in the game. You can see like we've got this good gun here. You do have 8 degrees of gun depression on this tank, but I think it's kind of more 8 degrees over the side, just because it's a rear mounted tank, and just the way the position of the tank, you only really get that full gun depression over the side of the tank, so something to bear in mind. We put that SU onto a one-shot there, picking up some more pens, bringing this to 2,000 damage total, with the 2 kills still. And again, this enemy tiger starts crossing. Now, you can see here we're shooting through bushes, so we're going to have better concealment value for that. And hopefully we can try and take this tank out. Now this time I shoot this one, like, am I going to get spotted or not? Wasn't 100% sure, but you can see the good concealment does help out there. We're going to try and help out our friendly TD by killing the SU, come in behind him, and we do in fact do that, but it is still a 4 versus 6. We're on 3 kills, 3,200 damage, so we are now having a decent game, but there's plenty of hit points available for us. So we know there's at least probably 2 tanks, I think, in the middle of the map. If they push forward, we might get some shots in, but with our friendly SU dying on the other side there, that's kind of left us in an awkward situation. And I don't know if I should stay here for the vision or pull back to try and get in a better position to cover our heavy tank there. And I opt to pull back to cover a heavy tank, just because I think that the enemy team might start coming down the 8-9 line. And also want to be in a position that if they try and cap us out, at least I've got a chance to get back there, because I don't have, as you say, that fantastic mobility really. So the enemy heavy tank does get spotted in the middle of the map. Unfortunately, our Chrysler K gets taken out by an Iron Rain, which is going to be difficult for us to spot, with it also having fatastic concealment. We know the Iron Rain, being a 3-shot autoloader, either only has 2 left in its clip, or is on reload, but we are a one-shot to pretty much all the tanks remaining at this point, I think. So, it's not looking promising. We're in a 2 versus 6 now, and I think I'm pretty much limited to just pulling back to cover our tank destroyer at this point. I can't see what else I can really do, but just wait and if the enemy team go into cap, we should be able to get back, depending, if they put 3 in there, he might not, to be honest, because of the restrictions and the mobility, but I don't think that's going to happen. They have come round to shoot our TD. Unfortunately, we get detected for that shot. I might have been better staying on the other side, but I'll move really to cover our heavy tank, and our heavy tank got destroyed. Waiting to try and lose our spot to get another shot in the medium. At this stage of the game, it's about getting that damage in as quickly as we can before all of the tanks turn up at one point. Iron Rain gets spotted, and I actually, I'm not getting detected in return. I am concerned he's going to blind fire me though, but I'll put him onto a one-shot. We might be able to finish him off. We do bring this to a 1 versus 5, and the Kolibavs is on, but we have the artillery shooting at us, and that is probably going to be difficult for us to avoid, really, to be honest. The enemy front police is going to be very challenging for us. We're getting pushed. We did at least put that Earthshaker onto a one-shot, so we may be able to finish him before he gets his shot into us. We're just hoping the enemy front police doesn't get us and kill us, but again, what really am I going to do at this stage? We don't actually put the Earthshaker on a one-shot. I lied to you. He's on a 2-shot, so in theory he can probably kill us here, but he doesn't roll high enough there to actually take us out. It's not an Earthshaker, that's why. It's a Victoria, that's why he didn't kill us. It wasn't a one-shot to him. And we do pick up the kill, and we're just hoping the artillery doesn't take us out here. We are now definitely a one-shot to everything in the game, because we only have 9 hit points. Not only that, the enemy tank could just come over and ram us, and we'd also die. I don't know the hit points of the rest of the tanks here. We spot forward and we spot an enemy tank destroyer. We put one shot into him. He is still a two shot to us. He's coming in to try and finish us off, but he shoots and misses. Now we put him into a one shot. We're just hoping, can we finish him off before he gets around us? And we do, and that brings it to a 1 versus 3. And now we just need to try and not get killed by the artillery. But yeah, we get killed by the artillery, and that denies us the opportunity to pull off the collies. We do still have a good game. Let's see how we did get on. We did get 6 kills, 5,500 damage with 300 assistance, and the ace tanker and the high caliber on the loss. So you see, we did have a good game. It's a shame we had an opportunity for the collies there, but it wasn't to be in the end. So let's move on to replay number 2. Okay, so here we are for replay number 2. This time we are on Proc, and there is 1 enemy artillery in the game, 1 enemy light tank, and it's tier 8 matchmaking, so we are middle tier in this game. So initially, on Proc, we are going to push to the 1-2 line, and we're going to see if we can get an opportunity to get in any of the bushes on, in fact, the 1 line, because we do have that fantastic concealment. We may be able to get there undetected and potentially see if we can get any shots in or a spot for our team, and so on, and really just get a feel for the game and work out where the enemy team are. Unfortunately, our light tank is kind of a little bit too far back to spot for us at the moment, which is not ideal, but if we can take out the enemy light tank, we might be able to then have a good chance of getting some vision, because like I say, 194 concealment is very, very strong, and you are very, very stealthy, and that is got to be one of the highlights of this tank. It's just really held back by the lack of mobility. That's the only thing I found frustrating with this tank. If it just had more mobility, it would be go from a strong tank to a really strong tank. But we push up into this bush here, and you see we've got here undetected, and we're going to see what we can do, see if we can spot any tanks. I'm slowly edging forward. I have a reverse round to give me every opportunity for the quickest escape I can be. I'm not really spotting anything until then we spot this enemy heavy tank, and we do get 1 shot into him, and we're going to try and free farm him as much as we can, or in fact just bounce. Unfortunately, we do get detected, which I'm trying to wonder what actually spotted us, because it definitely wasn't the T50 heavy tank, and I don't think the tank destroyer would have had vision on us, to be honest, that tank destroyer behind, and he wasn't, I don't think, close enough to proxy spot us either. So that makes me believe there's another sort of stealthy tank maybe on the 1-2 line which was spotting us. At this stage I'm not sure what that is. We do at least manage to get out of there, and although we take a little bit of punishment, it wasn't the end of the world. We're still in the game. Things could have gone a lot worse. So a lot of the enemy team, as you can see, I think I can count at least sort of 4 or 5 tanks on the 9-0. It's always important just to try and count where enemy tanks are. It lets you know where you might be able to get an overmatch. For example, by spotting 10 tanks on the other side, and I know there can only be 4 tanks this side. There we go, we do get spotted, and we found out which was spotting us. It was that Super Hellcat, which is obviously another very stealthy tank. Now it's kind of a situation where this is not great, because we just got put down to a 1 shot on 54 hit points, which is obviously not ideal, but at least the Super Hellcat died for spotting us, and now I am going to, even though I'm a 1 shot, I'm going to go back, just because I kind of think like the main vision which was spotting us is dead. Now, it is risky having no hit points, but as I say, the real problem, I feel like that was a tank. I feel fairly confident that was a tank which was spotting us, and no one else on our team is really pushing forward to spotting us. So it's either really accept that we fall all the way back and just wait for the enemy team to push, which is kind of boring, or I try and push and try and spot for our team and be the vision and give us some information. So here we go. We can see we've got all the way down to the E1 line. I still think there's some stuff down there which I'm not spotting, but I'm guessing they're quite far back. Now I definitely know there's a tank which is down there, just straight ahead of us on the other side of this ridge. So I just watched an enemy tracer, and I think because where he's lower down, I'm not going to spot him. But that also means I don't think he's going to spot us unless he starts moving further forward, because I don't think he has a direct line of sight to to us. So we know there's a tank there, which does mean that it's going to stop me pushing any further forward. I just need to be a little bit patient here. We do spot a enemy tank which We don't decide to pull the trigger because he's getting shot anyway, the T-78, and we're picking up the assistance. And we do just pick up quite a decent amount of assistance there now, putting us on to just shy of 2,000 assistance with 700 damage. And it's in a 10 versus 10, and I have to be careful, being that I am on 54 hit points. If I do get spotted again in this location, it's going to be game over for us, to be honest with you. I don't see how we're going to get out of it with the amount of hit points we have left and the fact that this tank isn't the most mobile. Our light tank is now pushing up, which is good, and I'm hoping he just pushes forward and spots for us because we are in a good position to farm. And we know the enemy artillery. You see what I'm pinging there? That's what the artillery is. I can keep seeing his tracers come by, and I would like to get rid of him. That would really help out for our team. Enemy tank destroyer does get spotted below us. Awkward for us again. I'm just going to try and get some shots into these tanks. Unfortunately, I don't hit it, but I do at least not get detected, which means it gives me a bit of confidence that I can spot without having to worry about getting spotted. I can shoot without having to worry about getting spotted here. Of course, I could get blind fired if people were clever enough to follow the tracers. They could blind fire us here. But I'm going to try and get some shots into this heavy tank nonetheless and help out our tank the best I can. We are starting to lose. We are one tank down, and I want to try and rack up some damage here. We get a few shots in there. I think 3 shots into that enemy heavy. Put us on to 1,600 damage. And I just hope our light tank goes and spots him again, because if he does, I'm definitely going to farm him. I'm ready to shoot. I'm ready to go here. I just need a vision, and unfortunately, I don't have the hit points to be taking a risk to push for myself now. If I had more hit points, I probably would. He does get spotted, and it does put me in a position where I might be able to get some shots through the cupola here. We do put him onto a 1-shot. Hopefully we can finish him off here and pick up the kill. We do hit him and pen him. Unfortunately, we just don't roll high enough quite to finish him off. But we do then. He hasn't moved, and we finish off the kill with the 3 TP there. Picking up our first kill of the game. Put us on to 2,000 assistance with 2,000 damage now. But we are in a 4 versus 7. The enemy team have won the other side. And you can see I have just been in this location pretty much the whole game here. But now I don't have the hit points to push further forward at all. We're now in a 3 versus 6. And I think if I'm going to work out if the enemy team are going to push into the cap or not. Enemy medium gets spotted leaving, and I'm going to try and farm this tank. It's all about killing the tanks as quickly as I can, as I say, because I don't want them all to come and try and fight us at the same time. I should have finished, and I do put this under 3,000 damage, 2,000 assistance with 5 tanks remaining now, back into a 3 versus 5. Again, if the enemy team go in the cap circle like they have, that has at least given us a little bit of information now of where the tanks are. With only 1 being in the cap, I'm not too concerned at the moment. If multiple get in the cap, then we're going to have to act. I've still got time. I'm just waiting to try and cover our light tanks. I feel like something could get detected, like this enemy tank which just has now. And now we've got free farm. Had I pushed up there, he would have been able to kill me. But now I'm just hoping I can kill him before he gets close enough to spot us, because we do have that great concealment. Or he just doesn't blind fire us here. But we are farming damage into this tank. Unfortunately, we don't pen him. We do track him in place, though, which slows him down. Should be able to get another shot into him. I think he's on a 1-shot potential to us now. And we do pick up the kill, bringing us into 3 kills with 4,000 damage. And we are in a 3 versus 4 with 50 seconds left on the clock. Looking like our light tank is moving in there to go and try and get the reset with the tank destroyer and covering him. I still know there's an enemy artillery in the A3 location. I was waiting to see if he moved. But now the enemy team, 2 of the remaining 4 have been spotted. So I'm going to start to head over there and see if we can try and get some shots in to help out our team here and get the reset. I still feel like I've got enough time to get back there. But our friendly ISU 152 does a good job killing the tank in the cap circle. Get a nice shot blind into that enemy medium tank there. And again, I'm in a good position that if they start pushing that we might be able to get some shots in. But then we spot this enemy tank destroyer. Now this is not good news for us. I'm thinking, though, if I can keep him detected, maybe my ISU will be able to slap him because he's a 1-shot to him. I can actually pen this tank with the HE rounds. I've got 44 pen on the HE with 370 alpha. So I do swap to the HE to give me every opportunity to kill him. Unfortunately, he's moving forwards, and I think he's going to spot us, but I can't move now. He does spot us. We do at least full pen him with the HE round before he takes us out, giving our friendly team a chance of getting the win, because it is just a one-shot tank. But unfortunately, I won't bore you, they don't get the victory here, and it is another defeat. But let's move on to the scoreboard, and then we will get on to the final replay of the video. Okay, so we don't get the victory, but we do have a good game still with 3 kills, 5,000 damage, 2,000 assistance, and the ace tanker. We pretty much did as much as we could there, but yeah, just couldn't quite get the win in the end. So we do still have one more replay to come, so let's move on to the final replay. Okay, so we made it to the final replay then, where we are on highway and we are platooned up with our good pal Swindle 321 in his Tiger 1 there. We are in tier 8 matchmaking again. I've got what I'd like to say the preferred spawn of highway, and this game we do really pick up a lot of damage for a tier 7 TD. Swindle's already decided that he's going to push across, try and get underneath their ridge and spot. So with that in mind, I feel like I'm going to play like the tank destroyer I am and see if we can cover any tanks which does get spotted. I pushed a little bit further forward because I know I have that good concealment that I might be able to try and use these bushes to keep myself detected, and then I will be in render range to actually get the shots in. Like this paladin here, which gets spotted in the open, looking to try and get the shots in where we can. We damage his ammo rack there, and then he unfortunately loses his spot. We might be able to get one in blind, but it doesn't connect, unfortunately. But now we're going to move a little bit further forward, and as I say, when Swindle gets underneath this ridge, tanks will get spotted, and that will give us an opportunity to get some damage in. And this tank, when allowed in the right scenario, the DPM allows you to pick up a lot of damage. It's just getting those type of games which suit the tank, is probably fair to say. So we're going to move up a little bit further because I do need to make sure I stay in render range, because there are tanks actually getting spotted, but I wasn't actually seeing them. Enemy paladin gets spotted again. Unfortunate there, we don't pen the lower plate, but I should have another opportunity at it though. And unfortunately again we hit a track shot, so it hasn't started great, but it does change. And this time we do finally manage to connect that shot, and we're just looking to try and just farm this tank, and he is just stuck in a really well, not a great position for his tank. We've just tracked him now, and he's kind of stuck in the open, so we should be able to have finish here because of that. And we do pick up our first kill and our first 1,500 damage. Enemy light tank, I was looking to try and prioritise shooting that tank if I could, because it's the most likely tank to push forward and spot us at the end of the game. Also, I imagine he's probably been quite a nuisance to our team, so I would look to try and shoot that tank if possible. So I'm looking now, it looks like he's coming in, he's eating damage off of our friendly team here, and we managed to connect a really nice shot, and he then actually gets tracked in place. We should have finished, but we bounce unfortunately, and he then gets taken out by our friendly light tank. And now we're on about sort of, just shy of 2,000 damage with the 1 kill, 12 tanks remaining. It's pretty even at this stage. We move slightly further forward, and we actually have shots here. We're not even behind bushes at this point, but at this distance these tanks are not going to spot us. King Tiger is in the open, and we just have this free farm right now. We unfortunately missed the shot there in that cruncher, but again we're just trying to hopefully get a shot into this Tiger 2 before he gets into safety. Cruncher has just had enough, and he's again just sort of sending in here. If he pokes any further though, we will in fact have shots into him. So we are sort of keeping that in mind. What I was also blind firing over there for another cheeky shot of damage. So on 3,000 damage, Cruncher does come in. We set him on fire. We're trying to finish him off here. Got 1 more second left to do it, and unfortunately, although we do pick up the kill and the damage, I needed an extra second to try and keep. Oh no, Swindle gets taken out by the Jag Tiger 81, unfortunately, but. We're on 4,000 damage now. We're on a 7 versus 11. So is this going to end in another defeat? It's not looking great for us, but we have picked up a lot of damage. But it's quickly sort of evened out to a 7 versus 9, and we're on 4,600 damage now. And again, we've just really been in the perfect situation, really, haven't we? We've just been farming damage. These games don't come around all so often where you're just able to just completely just shoot tanks. I mean, it's been the ideal scenario. We've also picked up our second fire, which has brought us to 5,000 400 damage now, and then at this point I'm starting to count the rounds I've got left. Now, have I got enough rounds left for all this damage? We get a shot into Jag Tiger there. Unfortunately, we don't pen him. I'd love to trap this tank in place and try and permanently kill him there. We're on 6,000 damage now. We're going to try and go for the blind shot, see if he's still there, but he's not. He's moved. He may have moved back into cover. Got to be conscious of the other side though, because it looks like, well, we are potentially losing that side. So I'm going to move back into a position where if I do push through, but I can try and get shots in, because I'm conscious that it being a 6 versus 6 now, we do not want to throw this game away. We're on 6,000 damage with 4 kills, and there's plenty more opportunity to get damage in. I'd like to try and get as much as I can. And then this, you've actually got 4 hit points. Unlike the other videos where we pretty much throw hit points away early, we actually do have 4 hit points left. I don't think we've even been spotted this game. Jag Tiger gets spotted. Again, this is our opportunity for damage here. It gets pulled back behind this destructible building. We're going to start shooting this. Hopefully our team shoot the destructible building as well, and then we can pick up the remaining damage whilst keeping an eye out on the other side. Again, we don't want to throw this tank away, this game away here, because 3 tanks pushing over the other side, so we're not 3 versus 2 against our friendly team over there. So we were sort of worried that they were going to fall, and then we wouldn't be in a position to shoot them, but it's not quite happening. Our team doing a good job of holding up, so we're going to pull forward a little bit, see if we can work out any way to get any shots over there, because also we don't want to miss the opportunity of damage by being too passive. But we do, an enemy heavy tank does get spotted, and we're going to move forward to see if we can find an angle of approach to get some shots into these targets. We may be able to squeeze one in there. Unfortunately, it just misses that shot, but we might have another opportunity at it. We do, and do we get an opportunity to pick up our 5th kill of the game? We do in fact land that shell, bringing us on to just shy of 7,000 damage now in our tier 7 tank destroyer, and we have more opportunities to shoot this SU. We put 1 shot in, it gets taken out. We are in fact now on the 7,000 damage with 3 tanks remaining, and I just want to get as much of this damage as I possibly can before this game draws to an end here. There's only 2 tanks remaining. Looks like we are going to get a win in the end, and we know that Jag Tiger was still alive, and he probably was on about a 1 shot, so we're moving over to see if we can get the shot. It'd be nice to finish off with a top gun as well. We get that 1 shot in, puts him on to a 1 shot. Can we get the top gun? No, but we've got another opportunity at it. There's still 1 tank remaining. Can we go and pick up the top gun on that last tank? We get spotted there, which was good, because I kind of want to get spotted right now, because that means I'll know where the enemy tank is. I'm just going to go the most direct route possible, straight across the bridge. I'm not really concerned about us losing this now. I just want to try and pick up that 6th kill and get another medal, to see how we can finish this game as strongly as we possibly can. So we're heading across. Again, we're just hoping we're going to get there before our friendly team do, so we can get this last bit of damage out of this game. I suspect he's got to be up here somewhere, just by where we got detected. He does get spotted. He is on a 1 shot to us. We take our time, aim the shot, and we pick up the 6th kill and bring us an end to the video. And we have a massive game for a tier 7 tank destroyer there, finishing off with 6 kills, 7,500 damage, 3,046 base XP, ace tanker, high caliber. And there you go, that is the end of the video. A fantastic game to end on, and thank you so much for your support, and as always, happy tanking.
Hadouken!